Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and we are early in the new year and I have a 2025 themed puzzle to have a look at today. I suspect this video will not see the light of day. I hope it does. I hope I can make my way through this puzzle. But it is by one of the most terrifying names in the whole world of puzzle setting. It is by Gliperal. I have done battle with Gliperal in the past. Rarely do the videos take longer than about 2 hours. Well, we've had this recommended to us, but not by anybody who solved it. So I had a quick look on Logic Masters Germany before I turned on the webcam, and it says it's been solved 8 times, so not many times at all. I will do my best, and there is no rating on the puzzle because not enough people have solved it yet. I think Gliperal has provisionally rated it 5 stars, which is totally appropriate and almost goes without saying. But yeah, I'll have a go. I'm starting this video slightly earlier in the afternoon than I normally would, so that if I do have immense problems, I'll be able to try another puzzle and hopefully still get a video up in time for 8:30. It also seems a good day to tackle a long puzzle today because there's not much else to do. The weather here in the UK is so abysmal and we aren't used to it, so all of the roads are skiddy and things like that, so it's better as there is a bit of snow on the ground outside and it is freezing cold if I just closet myself away in my Surrey attic and do battle with puzzles. What could be better? Anyway, I'll read the rules of this one, which are strange in a moment or two's time. What would I like to tell you about before that? Just a couple of things to mention. We've got our brand new Fog of War Sudoku app that is going gangbusters. If you enjoy Fog of War, and I think most people do, there is one person who commentates on all the Fog of War videos saying something like fog garbage, video blocked, but they seem to be in the minority, yeah, we have a Fog of War app full of handmade Fog of War puzzles by some of the great constructors in the world. Do check it out. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. But the other news, of course, is that we have, as of the 1st of January, we've released this amazing Sudoku hunt over on Patreon, The Hobbit. 19 puzzles in all by Blobz, featuring the art of Ted Naismith, one of the world's premier Tolkien illustrators. And I keep refreshing this. I find it really interesting. Nearly 2,000 people now have solved the first puzzle, which is fantastic. And over 160 have solved the final puzzle, which is tremendous as well. I mean, oh gosh, if you've done the puzzle, the Return Journey 169, and then 2 people are still stuck on Home at Last, or maybe they just haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet. But anyway, good luck. Do have a look at that. There's plenty of time left to get your entries in for the competition, which closes on the 20th of January. Now, I've also got some birthdays, one of which I'll start with, actually. Chanel, you've turned 29 today. Many happy returns. I know this because your mother Patricia wrote to us, and Patricia wrote to us about a minute before I turned on the webcam. So perfect timing. Very nicely judged, Patricia. And Chanel, I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today with, of course, a large slice of chocolate cake. Next, Alan. Alan, you've turned 35 today. And I know this because your partner Krista wrote to us and says that you must like the channel because she hears the music daily. So, Alan, many happy returns. Next, Liam. Oh yes, I remember Liam from last year. Yeah, Liam, you've turned the big 30 today. I know this because your wife Alicia wrote to us and said that these birthday wishes should come from her and also your son Alistair, who is now 1 year old, and I remember was 3 weeks old. Was that right? When I did the announcement last year. Let me show you. Yeah, this was the picture. I remember this picture very well. From when Alistair was very young. I made a bit of a Horlicks of trying to find it here, but I have got it here. Here we go. So little Alistair there has reached 1 year old. Let's move that slightly over so you can see the picture better. But that's absolutely fabulous. And I hope, Liam, that you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today. I hope there's some chocolate cake in store. I don't know, can Alistair have chocolate cake at the age of 1? Maybe not quite. But I think he'll enjoy it when he gets to try it for the first time. Anyway, many happy returns. And now, one more birthday. Koi over in Germany. Koi, you've turned 17 today. You've been watching since the middle of last year. And you like the fact that we're a bit of an oasis on the internet in the sort of in amongst the quiet horrors of social media. Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I think we are. We do try to be relatively wholesome content, good for the brain, good for the soul. And Koi, many happy returns. And with all that said and done, let's have a look at Welcome 2025 by the great and the terrifying Gliperal. These are the rules of the puzzle. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits may not repeat in cages. So we've got some cages in the grid, and we can't repeat digits. You'll see that these totals seem odd. Now, that is because the next part of the rules. If a cage contains a clue in the top left corner, that cage must be comprised of 1, 2, 3, and/or 4-digit numbers that sum to that value. Numbers are made from horizontally adjacent digits, read left to right, or vertically adjacent digits, read top to bottom. Every digit within a cage must be part of exactly one number, and numbers may not cross cage borders. I mean, this is lunacy. So what we have to do is, say for that cage, we have to divide it up such that, let's think of a way of doing this. We could use the line tool, couldn't we? So we could divide it up into sort of, I don't know if this works mathematically, but we could divide it like that. So we'd have a 2-digit number, a 3-digit number, a 3-digit number, and just a 1-digit number, and they have to sum to 2025. And we would be reading these numbers in this way. So if this was, if that was a 6, 7, 8, that 6, 7, 8. If that read like that, it would be the number 678. Numbers are made, horizontal. We read horizontally left to right and vertically top to bottom. So if that was 1, 2, 3, this would be the number 123. And we can have a 1-digit number. Yeah, we can have a 1-digit number. We could have a 4-digit number as well. So we could do that. So this would be a 67, and this would be 1,238. And that's all the rules. So what happens if you don't have? Oh, right. So this sort of polar bear shaped region here, I think the only rule that applies to this is it can't have a repeated digit in it. And that's 9 cells large. Okay, so that's got to have one. That's like an extra region of the puzzle, like an extra 3x3 box. It's got to have one of every digit in it. Anyway, do have a go. I think that is all the rules. There's no scrolling today. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I mean, there's some things I'm seeing here geometrically. For example, those 2 digits, whatever they are, they have to find a home in row 1 of the grid. So that must be a 9-cell cage, and is. So that they have to go in those squares, don't they, in row 1? Because these 2 digits, whatever they are, they can't repeat in their own row. And yeah, okay, so look at this cage here. That's got a similar property. Those 2 digits have to appear somewhere in row 5, so they have to be here. And the same is going to be true of this cage down at the bottom. Those 2 digits have to be in those 2 squares. Yeah, so these are all, so these ones, these 2025 ones are all 9-cell cages. That's a 9-cell cage because that's like it's almost like a Windoku cage, isn't it? And that's so oh, I see. So we've got a 2. Oh, sorry, we've got a 2 and a 5 cage, which are both 9 cells large. So they've got to have 1 of each digit. These 2 shapes can't have 4-digit numbers in them. Yeah, that's probably where we start, isn't it? Let me just think about. Let me just think about this for a second or two. When I was doing the example over here, it occurred to me that I couldn't have very many biggish digits because of the way that this snake that's coming out of a tree and looking this way, it's definitely, I don't know, it feels like a cartoon snake to me. That cage 3, 6, 9 is, it could have a 3-digit number there, it could have a 3-digit number there, it could have a 3-digit number there. It could have a 4-digit number there, 3-digit number there. I don't know if I said that one. But can it have more than, if it didn't have a 4-digit number in it, could it have, it could only have 2 3-digit numbers in it, I think. That might be wrong. It could have 1 there and 1 there, but then it's used up those cells, and I can't make those a 3-digit number. That is right, isn't it? I can't bend numbers. Yeah, or vertically adjacent. Well, digits may not repeat in a cage. If a clue contains a clue in its top left corner, that cage must be comprised of 1, 2, 3, or... My phone's buzzed. I don't like the way that this is not my phone, my watch. I think of them as sort of the same thing, and that this thing buzzes at me. 1, 2, 3, or 4-digit numbers. Numbers are made up from horizontally adjacent digits, read left to right, or vertically. Yeah, okay. I don't think I can curve numbers. Yeah. Yeah, that does not seem to be what I'm meant to do here. I wonder if there's an example on Logic Masters. Do you think I should go and check, or should we assume it? I don't like pausing the videos, so I think I'm going to assume that. I think the wording of the rules is clear. It's just I might make it more clear before, if this ever becomes a video, it will be more clear. That's what we'll do. We'll make the assumption that the numbers don't bend. I think for some reason I think I saw an example on Logic Masters Germany and it didn't have bending numbers in it, but I might be totally and utterly misleading you. Anyway, let's go back and think again. So I was trying to work out how many 3-digit numbers this could have in it, and I think it might be capped out at 2. If that's a 3-digit number, I can only put 1 3-digit number here. Now, if you had 2 3-digit numbers, can you get as high as 2025? If you had a 900 number and an 800 number. That would be 1700 from the hundreds numbers. Oh, God, actually, this is going to be complicated, isn't it? Because then you've got to get 325 from the tens and units digits of the... Oh, good. I'm going to have to sketch this out. So let's imagine that was a number and that was a number. Actually, maybe we should try and give ourselves as much latitude as possible for 10 digits numbers. Let's do that and that. And what I'm saying is, if that's 9 and this is 8, actually there's no reason, it's not fog today, we might as well use big numbers. So if that's 9 and that's 8, that's 1700s worth of digits. And these two digits are going to be, there's going to be a possibility for 3 10 numbers, aren't there? What I mean by 10 numbers is that digit is a tens number, that digit is a tens number, and if I make this a 2-digit number rather than 2 1-digit numbers, this digit would be a tens number. So they could be a maximum of 5, 6 and 7, which is 18. So now I'm at 180 plus 1700. No, that's nowhere near. Absolutely nowhere near. Right. So actually, I'm now thinking there might have to be a 4-digit number down here. I'm just going to think about this again. If I have a 2 3-digit numbers, 1700 is the most I can get. That is right. 320. I can't get anywhere near it. I can't. Even if I could have another, even if there was some disposition where I could put another tens number in here, I still get nowhere near it. I mean, I'm nearly 100 short, and I definitely can't make that up with units digits. So, right, so what that means is that, let's restore that green up here to remind ourselves about this. Right, this cage I think has to have a 4-digit number in it. Now that means this square is a 1 or a 2, isn't it? Because because it can't be a 3, because there's no subtraction in this in this. He says, I'm looking at the rules again. No, the numbers sum to the value, so that's fine. So what that means is, well, this is a digit, isn't it? Because if that's a 2, what number do I put here? Nothing. If that's a 2, I can't put a 1 there, because now I'm already on 2100, and I've got to stay at 2025 overall. So this is a 1. One of these is a 1 by green logic. That might do other things, actually. Oh, nearly. 1 in box 2 is nearly placed. It's in one of those squares because it can't repeat in my snake falling out of a tree shape. There has to be a 1 in that shape. The 1 in this shape, where's that going? It's not going in there. It could go in here. What if that's a 1? Then it's not going in there or there. So it's going in one of those. I don't know. But also, can we now say, does this have to be a 9 is my next question. Because... oh, no, it doesn't. No, that's absolute nonsense. Right, sorry. No, it doesn't. it might have meant that if I couldn't have had a 3-digit number there, but I could have. If this isn't a 3-digit number, then I would only be adding a maximum of 2-digit numbers to this number in order to make 2025. And I feel maybe that could still be an 8. I'm not sure. If that's an 8, that part of the 4-digit number is worth 1800. So this, and this would have to add up, and that single number would have to add up to 225. Oh, that's probably very possible, actually. That's probably very possible. Okay, so... Oh, sorry, there's a siren going past. Not a maverick for once. Yeah, but then if this was a 3-digit number, then these two numbers would have to get somewhere close to the extra 1,000 we need, because this number is basically giving us 1,000, isn't it? So that's going to give us some number of hundreds, etc. If that was a 3-digit number, that's giving us some number of hundreds. But then those 2 digits would have to add up at least quite close to 10 to give us the 1,000 that we need. I don't know. I'm not. So let's have a look at this case. Oh goodness, what's that highlighted? Don't know. What about this cage then? This has got a 1 down here. So, if this had... Well, this can't have a 4-digit number in it now. Because if it had a 4-digit number in it, we know that number couldn't begin with 1 because of where the 1 is in the cage. And therefore it would begin with at least 2. And the second digit of that 4-digit number would not be a 0. So the number would be too big. So the maximum size... So the maximum size of the maximum size of number in this cage is 3. And so aren't we in this territory again? Has it got to be 3 different 3-digit numbers? Because if it was only 2 different 2-digit numbers, we couldn't make it add up to enough, could we? Because you only get to 1700 with a 900 number and an 800 number, and we can't get the extra 325 from tens numbers only. Right, so this cage is 3 different numbers, which is going to have to be exactly like this. So I wonder if that's the same. No, it's not the same, is it? It's very different. The reason I can do this is because I can't put the 1 in a 1,000 number. This is fascinating, actually. So, therefore what? I've got 3 3-digit numbers that add up to 2025. So the hundreds numbers, which are these numbers, have to add up to quite a... Well, the most they could add up to would be 24, which is too much if they were 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm not sure how to do this, actually. Can we... If they added up to, say... No, they couldn't add up to... They can't add up to 20. Because if they added up to 20, then the rump of the tens digits here, 3 10-digit numbers would have to add up to 25. That's clearly impossible. So they add up to a maximum of 19 and probably a minimum of around 18, I would suggest. Because 17 we know is too difficult. And the units digit has to add up to a number ending in 5. Okay, so 15. Oh! That's cool. Right, I'm going to change. I'm going to stop looking at the hundreds digit just for a moment. I'm going to go back there in a minute. But the units digits, which are these 3 digits, they can't add up to 5 because they're all different. So even if they were 1, 2, and 3, they'd add up to 6. And they can't add up to 25 because even if they were 7, 8, 9, they'd only get as high as 24. So they add up to 15. Oh, so does it? No, it doesn't have to be 15, 50. Okay, let's just deal with the secret quickly. Now, the secret is something I share with only my very favourite people. If you're with me after 26 minutes of this rambling discursion, you are definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret of Sudoku is that the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45, believe it or not. The triangular number for 9. 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 45. So, I've just hypothecated 15 of that 45 to those numbers. So my thought then was, okay, maybe I've got to do 15, 15 in the tens digits. No, 15 in the hundreds digits would be too small. Hang on, so what's going on? So I've got 15 here. So I need the sum of these digits, the tens digits, to end in a 1, don't I? So that when the carry of, because I've got 15, which is effectively 5, which is what we need in the units position, and a carry of 1 into the tens column. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I'm thinking about it. So if I had, so say these added up to 11, then they would be 11, so the tens digits added up to 11, plus the 1 carry from the 15 is 12, which would give us a 25 number, but then would carry 1 over into the hundreds. So then the hundreds numbers would then add up to 19 in order to get us to where we needed to be. So in fact, what that means is, because we obviously can't make those 3 digits add up to 1, they're 3 different digits, they add up to 11 or 21. And if they add up to 21, then everything's probably fine. 21 plus 15 is 36. So no, hang on, that's totally wrong. I've done something wrong here. 21 doesn't work at all for the hundreds digits, because if I make the tens digits add up to 21, it looks like it's working, because then I've got 22 from the carry of the tens digit in the 15. So I've got 2 carried over into the hundreds digits, but the hundreds digits would then add up to 9, I think, because I'd have 21 in the tens digits plus 15 in the units digits. That's 36. The secret is 45, so I've only got 9's worth of digits to put in the hundreds totals. And 9 plus 2 is not enough to get to 2000. But if that's right, then actually, by thinking about the units digit first, we have been able to deduce. I don't know how to. I'm just going to get rid of my green highlighting just for a moment. What I'm saying is that those 3 digits add up to 15. These 3 digits add up to 11. And these 3 digits, blue, add up to 19, I want to say. So then let's just think about that, think that through. So I've got 15 in the units digits, which carries a 1 into the tens, 5 with a 1 carry. I've got 11 in the tens digits, plus the 1 carry is 12, so that gives me my 25. I carry 1 over into the hundreds digits, which add up to 19, plus the 1 is 20, so I do get the number 2025, and I haven't broken the secret to do it. So green, let's just try and aid memoir this. Green adds up to, let's put it there, adds up to 15. Purple adds up to 11. It would be really handy if that was the one. The only way of doing it would be 2, 3, 6 into these squares. That's wrong, actually. That's wrong. No, it's not wrong. No, it's not wrong. I could still do the green digits with 159. It's not wrong. Ignore me. So, okay, sorry. What did I say? These had to be 11. So 1, 1. And then these are 19, which will work. Actually, let's do it the same with the same corner marks. So 15, no, not 15, 19, Simon. 19, 11, 15, which adds up to 45. I don't know then. Can we do any better than that? Does it matter that the 1 has to be in a tens digit? Oh, the 1 could never have been in a hundreds digit, actually. Because 3 hundreds digits, you can't get to 19 if one of them is a 1, because you can't put 199 into a single cage. There might be a way of improving this. If this is 1, the pink adds up to 11 without using 1. It has to be 2, 3, 6. The green adds up to 15 using a 1, but not then able to use a 6 to make the extra 14 you need. So that would be 159. Pink would be 2, 3, 6. And blue would be 4, 7, 8. On the other hand, if this is a 1, these two digits add up to 10. Oh, I mean, that's horrific. There is just not a restriction. I don't think there's a restriction. Has this just been an excursion into the weird and wonderful mind of Gliperal that's done absolutely nothing? I am so sorry. I don't think that we're on the right lines here at all now. Or if we are, this comes at some much later process in the solve, because the problem with the numbers 19, 11 and 15 is that they're quite nebulous. I don't need a 9 in the blue digits. I can do it quite comfortably with 8. I can't do it without an 8 or a 9 because 765 is only 18. But I could even have 8, 9, 2, couldn't I? I mean, this is very, very difficult. Okay, so maybe I'm meant to look at the sort of Windokus then. Unless it's to do with... I don't know. I'm really sorry. I don't know what I'm doing, frankly. Let's have a look at this, the Windoku. So the Windoku, the shape of it suggests to me we can't have a 4-digit number in it. So we're not in this world. So again, we're in 3-digit territory, aren't we? So we can draw in the shape of the numbers. And the same is going to be true for the 5. That's just a reflection of the 2. But here, oh, no, I was about to get excited about the fact I had a 1 in a units digit there, but actually the 1 might not be there. It might be there. It's just that I'm going to try and remember that, because otherwise that's quickly going to be a recipe for a disaster. So we've got 19, 11, 15. 19, 11, 15. Now, is the maths of this one the same, given that the... Yeah. The maths is the same, isn't it? Because the maths, the reason we could split this box into three-digit numbers was because we couldn't have a 4-digit number. And once we couldn't have a 4-digit number, that was all we needed to do the nice maths we've just done. So the nice maths applies here. So I want to say, I don't know if this is right, but what I want to say is that those units digits add up to 15. These digits add up to 11. These digits add up to 19 again. Because I think that the logic we did on the L-shaped cage at the top is the same as it is for this cage, even though they look different. The mathematics of three different three-digit numbers comprised of the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 have to split that way. That's what we proved. Yeah, it is right. It is right. I didn't need the geometry of this cage beyond the fact it was split into three-digit numbers. So now these add up to 15. These add up to 15. So in this column, that one, and that one add up to 15. Now, is that wrong? No, that's wrong, isn't it? Hang on, have I gone mad? No, that's right, it's 45, that's right. Is this Windoku then somehow? So those digits. What I'm thinking now is this something set based? Oh, I haven't. Oh, I missed a point here. I don't know. All I'm thinking suddenly is about set. So what I'm thinking is, in column 2, 3, and 4, if we just highlight all of that space for a second, that all of those black cells there are 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9, because that's 3 complete columns of the Sudoku. Now, this Windoku window and this Windoku window are each 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. So that's 1 set. So that's 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. So that's 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9 for those digits. Now, given that we know that the black cells overall are 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9, this collection of 9 cells are all different digits, and they are one of the digits 1 to 9 once each. No, it's better. It's better if I don't look at this column, actually. I've changed my mind again. I'm just going to get rid of those black. We might come back to it, but rather than thinking about this column, where I worked out they were 15, that's 30, so these have to be the balance that takes us up to the 45 number for the whole column, which is another 15. That's not interesting, but do it with the 11 here. These are 11, because they're the equivalent of the purples up there. So 11 and 11 is 22. So these digits add up to 23, and I know what they are then. They've got to be 6, 8, and 9. That's forced. It's the only way of getting 3 different Sudoku digits to add up to 23. Yeah, and look, these are 19 and these are 19. So these digits have to add up to the difference between 38 and 45, which is 7, which is 1, 2, 4. And that is not a 1 by dint of this. So that is a 2 or a 4. That cannot be a 9. Because purple, or pink, they add up to 11. So if that's a 9, that has to be double 1 in the same cage. So this is 6 or 8. If it's 8, that has to be 1, that has to be 2. Oh, that would be a 4. That's a 4 in the hundreds digits. So these two digits would add up to 15. I'm losing track of this now. So that they would be 6 and 9, wouldn't they? Because I said that if that was 8, that's how we started this. So it would go 8, 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 3, 5, 7, adding up to 15. Good grief. But if that's a 6, it's less clear, isn't it? Because then I need those two to add up to 5 without using that digit. So, but they could include a 1, so they could be a 1-4 pair or a 2-3 pair, possibly. Oh no, I don't know. Okay. Right. So what does that mean? That I don't know what that means. But I sort of feel, well, I mean, if either of these is a 1, those 3 digits which add up to 11, they would be have to be 2, 3, 6 again. Wouldn't that break with my 6, 8, 9 triple? So that would make this a 1 and this a 1. And that would mean these added up. Does that mean... no, hang on, would that... If that's a 1, didn't I think that had to be 2, 3, 6? So have I got... I think I might have made a mistake here. Now I've got too many digits that have to be 2, 3 and 6 in column 3. Ah! Is this one pencil mark right or wrong? That's correct. That is correct. These are both units digits. So these digits would add up to, well, whichever one of these was 1 would make the other 2 digits here add up to 14. Don't these have to add up to 11? Have I missed an option? I have 2, 4, 5. I've missed an option. Oh, bother. Did I use that up here? I said one of these was a 1. If that was a 1, these would be, I said 2, 3, 6, but they could have been 2, 4, 5. No, I haven't. That's okay, isn't it? Because the way I got this 6, 8 wasn't using that at all. That was using the sums for the columns. And I worked out they had to be a 6, 8, 9 triple. So I don't think I've broken the world. I just missed a possibility for the way that pink works. Although that pink possibility cannot apply in this sort of L-shaped cage. And annoyingly, it could apply here. And that doesn't prevent this from being a 1. Which is good, because otherwise I could, well, yeah, otherwise maybe it would have worked. If that was a 1 and that was a 1, that would have had to be 6. These would have to be 2, 3. And then these add up to 11, but they could have included a 1 then. Because the 1 could have gone here. Oh golly, I mean this is very confusing. Okay, but the point is that do I know less than I did? I think. Well, the point is I'm not sure. I'm not sure which of these is a 1. But I haven't broken the puzzle, which is also an important point. So, no, that was about to be a bad question. I was going to say, where is 1 in row 4? Because it's not there. It's not there. Oh, this corn pencil marks. Well, no, that's wrong. Stop thinking that there's a 1 in one of these. I keep seeing this one domino and not taking into account this one, and that is not going to help me. So any 3-cell cage, no, any 2025 cage that's 9 cells large that has 3 different 3-digit numbers in it, we know roughly what the composition of the various tens, units and hundreds digits are going to be. You see, I might be doing this all wrong as well. And what I'm suddenly seeing here is that there is an exact replica. That section of digits, where do they go in box 7? Well, don't they go in those set digits? Because they can't repeat in their own cage. So these green digits are the same as those digits, and therefore there's a double overlap, and therefore 2 of these digits are these digits and end up down there. And that must be the same up here as well. So these digits are the same as those digits. Oh, does that prove that I might have 1 in here? No, because the 1 could be in here. Oh, Bobbins McBobbins face. I don't know. Okay, that's not working. Okay, come on, Simon, use your brain. What's going on? Do we know? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to take that pencil mark out. That's now disturbing me as well. I've got to find some way of... No, what I was about to say is not right. Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me truly, I implore. I'm not sure how to do this. Can we say anything sensible about the way that these cages the way that they work? I've got to divide up the remaining digits into 2 portions of 19, don't I? So, yeah, I see. Ah, okay. So, look at column 2. Now, I have to put the digit 3 in column 2. I have no idea where it goes. But let's just sketch out over here how it might look. So 3 is going to be in one of these hundreds positions, along with 2 other digits that add up to 19 overall. But that means that the digits that are going to accompany the 3 are going to have to be 7 and 9, because that's the only way, it's a unique way of getting 16 in 2 digits. So either this is 379, or this is 379, which means that the other is 568. So actually, let's move that up a bit. So 379, and then we can put a gap. 568 is going to be either here or here. So, and then in this column, we're looking for two different portions of the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 that add up to, this is good, that add up to 11 each. So one of them has a 7 in it. Now the 7 can't repeat in this one because we've already put the 7 in the hundreds digits. So the 7 is going to go in this one, along with two digits that add up to 4, which are going to have to be 1 and 3. So the way this will work is 2, 4, 5, which was one of the options that I missed earlier. So then the completion of this one is done with the digits 1, 6, 8, and 1, 6, 8 do add up to 15. So that suggests we've got that right. And then these digits are going to be 2, 4, 9. And therefore, these digits are going to be whatever we haven't used yet, which are 3, 5, 7. I'm going to claim into those squares because I can't use them in those squares for reasons that are hopefully now clear, but were not clear before we did that exercise. So that is 3, 5, or 7, and that's in the units digits of this one. So if that's a 1, that has to be 5. It has to go 1, 5, 9. And that would take 9 out of my 19 total. So that would need to have 8 in it. So this would have to be 6. So this would be 6, 2, 3. I think 4, 7, 8 would be how these have to look. I'm not sure about that, but that sort of feels like it's approximately where we're headed to. So is there a way of working out? So in one variation of the world, this is 3, 7, 9. In the other variation, it's 5, 6, 8. See, if this was 5, 6, 8, that would be a 5, 6, 8 triple. That would be a 2, 4, 5 triple. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I can't immediately see why it's disproved. Oh, Bobbins, I'm sorry. I know I'm being slow here. I know I am. Okay, so what? I mean, what am I meant to do? Is it possible now? Well, actually, that's quite an interesting question. It's very hard for this cage to have a 4-digit number in it now. Very hard. It's also very hard for this cage to have a 4-digit number in it, because where would you put it? If you can't put a 4-digit number in a 3-digit space, that's not going to work. And you can't put it there or there, because these digits are now, the 1000 digit would be at least 3000, and that's bigger than 2025. Can't put it there, because the thousands digit would be 6, 8, or 9. You could maybe put it here. So only... Right. So only one... Well, hang on. Does one of them have to be a 1000 number? How could it not be? No. I've got it. Right. Okay. So, what we have deduced so far is that if you construct the number 2025 from 3 different 3-digit numbers, we know exactly how we have to divide up the hundreds digits. They have to add up to 19, the tens digits have to add to 11, the units digits have to add to 15. How could you do that? So if you split up either this cage or this cage into 3-digit numbers only, it would look like that, 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 that. Therefore, one of those digits, which is a hundreds digit, would be a 1. That's impossible, because you can't get to 19 with a 1 in one of the positions. You've only got 2 other hundreds digits to add up, and they can't both be 9. So one of these is a thousands digit. Yeah, this is really interesting, because now I don't know how this will work, but let's say this was oh, let's use a different colour. Let's say that was a thousands digit. Now, so we know this would be a 1. 1000. Or do we? Oh, hang on. No, maybe we don't know. Well, no, we do. We would know that this was a 9, actually. We would, but not for the reasons that you might expect. It's nothing to do with this number. It's actually to do with this number. Because in this box, if this was a thousandths number, in this box, you'd have to split this box into 300 numbers. 3 numbers that were 3 digits long. Because there's no possibility of this being this, because this would be a 1, there would be no possibility of this being a 1. So this would be 3, 3, 3. And now, remember the tens digits in this box have to add up to 11, so you can't include a 9. And it's going to be the same geometry if instead this was a thousands number, and this went 3, 3, 3, this couldn't be a 9. So the 9 is hypothecated or allocated to the 1000 number. So you're going to have, if this was 1, that would be 9. And you'd have a 1900 number. So, this is going to get horrible. This is going to get horrible for this one, because now you've got a 1900 number, 1930, 50 or 70 plus whatever this units digit is. This could not be a hundreds number now, because this can't be a 1, this would be at least a 2. You can't add 200 and something to 1900 and keep it down to 2025. So this would have to be parcelled up into tens digits or units digits. This would have to be, well, that couldn't be a hundreds digit, so this would either be a tens digit or 2 units digits. So what does that mean? I hear you cry. The answer is I don't know. So this one, so one of these would be an 8. If that's 8, hang on, I just want to look at it. I'm going to divide this one. It could be this one. Obviously, I don't know whether it's this T-shaped cage or this L-shaped cage that is the 3-digit thingy. But let's just divide this one up. Because what I'm just trying to see is if this is 8, that's the tens digit, this would have to be a 2. Because it couldn't be a 1 because of Sudoku. And that's going to be the same here, isn't it? If this is an 8, and this would be a tens, that would be a 2. But that could be an 8, and then that could be a 1. But if this is an 8, that's a 2. If this is an 8, that's a 2. And then this, there'd be a 1 in one of those two cells, I think. Oh, good grief, this is so complicated. So, good grief, I don't know what to do. What do we do now? How long have I've had an hour? That has flown past. This is just Gliperal. You just go into these worlds of madness. So, sorry, I know I've stopped talking. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to think about this now. So I've got. I know for one of the cages that has three-digit numbers in it, the tens digits are definitely 812. The other one is going to have a 6. One, two. So I'm not sure. I'm wondering whether what I can do is to sort of, if that's 8, this is a 1. I know that would be 1. There might be some Sudoku reason that comes to our rescue here. So if that's 8, that's 1, that's 2, that's 4. So I need a 3 then in one of these, otherwise this gets too high to be 15, because I've hypothecated the 1, 2 and the 4 elsewhere. So I've only, I'd be 5, 6ing and 7ing, which is too many to add up to 15. So one of those would be a 3, and then 2 digits that add up to 12, which would have to be 5 and 7. So if this is 8, this is 3, 5, 7, that's 1, that's 2, that's 8. These are 4, 4, 6, 9. Is that what they are? 4, 6, 9. Okay. Now, in the other world, where this is 6, what happens? If this is 6, I think it's much more complicated, but there might be some way of seeing something. If this is 6, this is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. See, it could also be some interaction with whether this gets parcelled up. I suppose if I know one of these is what I know, that's 1, 9 or that's 1, 9. Does that help me to parcel? Is there some reason that we could deduce, which way up this went? Like, if this is 1, 9, does that become impossible either way round? But the problem is that although I've written this as 3, 2, 1, 7, 4, 6, 9, 5, 8, in fact what we're saying is this would be a 3, 7, 9 triple, aren't we? This would be a 2, 4, 5 triple. This would be a 1, 6, 8 triple. Oh. Ah, okay. So is it to do with the 1 then? Is it to do with this pencil mark going back there? Just in the sense that no, it's. I don't think it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Okay. No, I've not got this, have I? I'm not seeing it. Okay, so we're going to have to do something else. And I don't know what that something else is. I really want to know what it is, but I don't think I do know what it is. I don't think the highlighting is helping me. I'm going to take it out. I've got literally nothing from that. This highlighting I'm less keen to take out. I do think that's playing a role in the world. And I know I've either got a 19 here or a 19 here. And then in the other position, so if oh, maybe you can isolate it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to work out whether or not it's possible for me to say with any sort of authority, and it might not be at all, that let's say that this was well, we know this is three-digit numbers. Let's say this one is as well, because that's what I've got it labelled as. Is it possible? Because if that was right, we'd be in this world. These would be, we'd be in this world. And if this was 8, I think I can get this very close. But if it's not 8, then that would be 8, wouldn't it? And then this would sort of fill in. That would be a 2. That would be a 1, although this... I know what I can do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to transpose this into a single row. Because that is, all we're saying is that that's 3, 7, 9, 2, 4, 5, 1, 6, 8. Okay, so that is what how one of these works. Now this one is 5, 6, 8, 1, 3, 7, 2, 4, 9. And that gives me more aide-memoire space in the world. Right, so if this was 8, that would be 1. Would be 8, 2, 1. Which is different from this one, which is very odd. This would be 4. So that would be 2. Now that's interesting. So is that the same if it's that? Well, yeah, it is the same. That's really interesting. Is that definitely right? But if that's 8, that would be 1, and that would be 2, and that would be 4. So the 8 always... so the 8 always goes with the 4. That's quite big. That's weird. Right, I'm not sure this is right either. I've got a horrible feeling it's not right, because it... No, it's right. It is. It's obvious. Actually, it's obvious. I'm being so slow. I'm so sorry. Right, but yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Up to me. No jokes. Right. What I'm realizing is that whichever either this one or this one or this one, if this is the three-digit numbers, has an 8 in its tens position. Now that 8, in order to get to 11, must have a 1 and a 2 in its other two positions. So let's just say it's this one. 8, 1 and 2 would go here. Now that's going to make this digit a 4, isn't it? And if it was 8 down here, it would make this digit a 4. And why do I find that interesting? Well, I find it interesting because if what we're saying is 8 and 4 are partners, so there is a number either here or here or here that begins 4, 8. The interesting thing for me about that is it fixes my hundreds digits, because if I have a 4 here and an 8 here, and these have to add to 15, they would have to be 6 and 9, wouldn't they? Yes, they would. And I can't see any reason why that is not the case down here. So the hundreds digits in such a variation are 4, 6 and 9. The tens digits are 8, 1 and 2. And 3, 5 and 7 are the units digits. So this is the panoply of hundreds, tens and units, either here, here or here, depending on which one has an 8 in its tens position. Now, well, this is even more interesting now, because now let's think about one of these having a 6 in this position. The reason this is fascinating is because one of these is 4, 8. So the other one is 2, 6. It's 6 here and 2 here in the hundreds position. Now the only way you can get to 19 is with 2, 8, 9. And that's hypothecated the 2, so you have to go 6, 1, 4 into the tens position. And that's 3, 5, 7 again. So this is the disposition. Well, yeah. This is beautiful, because now this one is definitely one of the cages that has three digit numbers in it. So this position, which is a units digit, is never a 1. It's a 3, 5 or a 7. And that's the one. And that's the one. And then, boom! Boom, boom, boom. Because now, this has a 1 in its units position. So we're in this world. This is the one we're in. And so this is a 6, 8 pair. Oh my goodness me. Gliperal, what have you done here? This is just... It's mind-bogglingly clever. Now, this is now 5, 6, 8. This is 1, 3, 7. This is 2, 4, 9. I can get rid of my 8 memoirs. And now, I've got 2, 4, 5 triple there, so that's not 5. I've got 3, 7, 9 triple. So the 9 is there. That's not 9. Oh, hang on, I've got to be careful. Well, no, I eliminated this 9 not by using this. I didn't use this. I used this pattern and this digit, therefore not being able to be a 9. I don't know whether this is the jobby, which is the technical term for 4-digit number. But that is now a 6 or 8 in the corner. So if that's 2, we know this is 8 and this is 9. If it's 4, we know we're in 6. Oh, is that always 9? Hang on, I might be wrong about this. Yeah, no, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. In both of iterations, 9 is in the hundreds position, which is a blue digit here, so that is a 9. That's definitely true. This digit, is the complement of this to add up to 11, so this is 4 or 2, and that is even, and that's a 2, 4 pair. Oh, okay, and that's 3, 5 or 7, which we probably already knew. But now this digit has to appear in row 1. It has not appeared in row 1, so that digit is there and gives us a chance of a 3 in the corner. And therefore... Ooh. Right, let me just think about that for a second. I don't really want to get rid of my colouring here. I'm going to make that digit an A. Now that digit we just said is that digit. But I can tell you something else. In that 379 triple, it's also that digit. So where is this A digit going in my snake? The answer is not blowing in the wind, it is there. That is the only place it can go. Because it can't go in this row, it can't go in this row, and it can't go in its own box. I might have to give this a colour. I find it much harder to scan when so okay, so that digit is also down in one of those two squares here. That's not dependent on this at all, the logic here. I've got to be really careful with assuming this is 1, 9. That is not a valid assumption at all. 2, 4. That's actually quite... I've spotted something else that might be worth investigation, but let me just think about this a bit more first. Why have I got a 2? Oh, that was from my 1, 2 thinking before. We can get rid of that. I think... no. Come on, you're nearly there now. I don't know. That's not 1. There's a 1 here, definitely. But that can't be A. So this is an A1 pair. An A1 pair. So where is 1? Oh, I've got to be... No, be careful, Simon. I can't do this, can I? I've got to take this out. I think it's just too dangerous for me to make this assumption. I've got to get rid of this because I'm starting to think about it as if it's real, and it may well not be real. So this needs to have a 1 restored to it. This needs to have a 9 restored to it. The only thing we know is that this one is true, and we know that this one is true from the work we did earlier, which plonked a 1 over here, and allowed us to generate these beautiful digits into these positions. So either this is 1, 9 or this is 1, 9. And then the other one is going to be one of these iterations. But that's really complicated to think about. So it's going to have 2, 8, 9 or this one, depending on what this one is. Oh, goodness me, this is complicated. So, oh, no, this is very difficult. So we can do weird things, like we can say that because what I'm trying to spot is commonality. I mean, 3, 5 and 7 are always in the units positions. So you have got a 3, 5 or 7 in one of those. You've got a 3, 5, well, which you can already see, we've got a 3, 5, 7 in one of those, and you've got a 3, 5, 7 in one of those, depending on which one of these is the 3, 3, 3 cage. You've always got a 1 in the tens position. So if this was 3, 3, 3, that would have to go here. Yeah, and if this was 3, 3, 3, it would have to go here. So there is a 1 in one of those positions in the final grid. So there is no... the sort of bottom side of this polar bear thing definitely doesn't have a 1 in it. Actually, where is the 1 in the polar bear? One of those 3 squares. No, I'm not prepared to pencil mark that. Or is it back to thinking about these A's? Let's think about those again. Because, so this, maybe I've got to do 3 7 markings. There's no particular reason to do that though. Oh, A has to appear in this column, doesn't it? So A is either there or there. So if A was here, no, if A was there, wow, I don't know. I'm not even really not sure what to think about to sort of 2, 4, 5. That digit is not those two squares, so that digit is that square. So these two digits are the same. Let's give that a marker in case that's doing anything. So that digit is down here somewhere. So if this was the whatchamacallit, the 333 cage, that would be a 2-4 pair. Is that allowed under the... That would be a 3. That's not right. Ooh, right. Okay, this isn't too bad actually. Right, I've done it, I think. So what I'm now saying is, I'm saying that I think we can disprove this being 333. Because if it's 333, we know that this is a hundreds digit and it's not the 1. The 1's going to go down there. So this is 2, 4, which means this is a 2, 4 pair in this box. This is definitely a 6 or an 8. So we've got a sort of symmetry between this box and this box. But here is my question. What's this digit? Now that digit is a tens digit in either this set or this set. So we're looking at these two numbers. These are the only options. But that's the high digit. So this has to be 1, 2 or 4. It's not 1, it's not 2 or 4. It actually would have to be 3 mathematically, because it's combining with a 6 or an 8 with that digit to make 10. Sorry, to make 11. But when we worked out how this had to look, the only way we could allocate the digits required the 3, 5 and 7s to be in the units digits. So you just cannot do this with a 3 here. The way the numbers all pair up just doesn't work. So what we've got to do is restore these. Well, what we've got to do is move everything. This is not the 333. This is the 333. That means this is not 1. This is not 9. This is 9. This is 1. This is a 4-digit number. The 1 is not now in orange. So it is in orange. So it is in orange. And now if we can just extend this slightly, we are going to be cooking with gas here. So okay, so the units digits are always 3, 5 and 7 in both iterations. So if this is 8, this is 2. If this is 6, this is 4. So I've got a 2, 4 pair here. I've got a 5, 6, 8 triple. This digit is... Hang on, where's 9 in this box? Doesn't it have to have a 9 in it, or is that nonsense? I think it does. Yeah, it definitely does. That's got to go there. So that's a 9. This is not a 9. 9 is in one of those squares, but I think we've known that before. 9 is in the hundredths digit, which makes total sense. So if this is 2, this is 8. And if this is 4, this is 6. So that gives me a 6-8 pair in the final row. And therefore, I don't know. Oh my goodness me. Alright, there's got to be... Right, these squares are from 2, 4 and 9, aren't they? And one of them definitely is a 9, because those two digits had to go at the end of this row. We worked that out before. And... oh, come on, Simon. Okay, can I get rid of this now? I think I can, in the sense I think Sudoku will make it fall out. Like, if I got this as being a 2, yeah, I can remember it. I don't think we need that aid memoir, and I'm starting to use it in Sudokuing, and that's bad. Naughty Simon. Right, so therefore, well, we know that B is now that digit by Sudoku. So B is down there by Sudoku. Therefore, come on, I think we're really close to cracking it. How long have I had now? That's another half an hour that's just slipped past. What a way to live, though. This is just glorious, isn't it? What else can you actually do where you get this sort of epiphany rush over and over again? Come on now. So 9? No, that doesn't work. Do we know more about how this works then? So this is a 1900 number. No, I didn't like the look of this, did I? This was tricky, I feel. Like whether this has 2-digit numbers or 1-digit numbers. I mean, I guess it can't be all 1-digit numbers, because even if this was 1970, then we're looking for 55's worth of single-digit totals, and we know that the secret is only 45. If we added all 9 Sudoku digits, we'd only be adding 6 singles, so we'd never get to 55. So there's at least one 2-digit number in this T-shaped cage. Let's just try and internalize that. That's probably going to be worth thinking about. It's at least one 2-digit number. What was the story with this one? This one we worked out right at the start. Had a 4-digit number in it. Okay. We weren't sure, were we, whether this was going to be like a massive number in and of itself, or whether it needed sort of if it needs a hundredths number added to it, that has to be there. I suppose we we do now know this number is a bit restricted. Golly, I can actually see, this is really interesting. That digit is not an 8. Or a 6. Oh. The reason I'm seeing that is I'm asking where those digits go in this box. I mean, you can ask it from the perspective of where does that digit go in this box, or where are 6 and 8 in this box, and what does that imply about whether this square could be those digits. In fact, it's probably better to look at that one. Look, let's look at it from this one's perspective. Whatever you put in there, imagine we put 8 in there. Where are you putting 8 in this box now? It's not going in its own row, and it can't repeat in the snake. And the pencil marks remove it from everywhere else. It's the same with 6. But the problem with that is that that does not, unfortunately, remove the ability for this to be 9. Or perhaps even 7, although 7 I feel is too small, but that might be wrong. But 9 is a problem. Well, 9 is, I suspect, the answer. It's going to be like this, isn't it? It's going to be 1900 and something. And then this couldn't be a 3-digit number, but we'd only need to get to 125, which I think would be quite easy to do. So if that's a 9, that's a 9. That's a 9 in the corner. Ah. Oh, bother, 8. Well. Okay, this is great. No, I don't need to be this complicated about this. Right. Is that actually right, though? Hang on. Either 9. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Where's 9 in row 4 is a good question. And the answer is I have almost no clue. It's in one of those squares. It's not here by Sudoku, it's not here by Sudoku, and doesn't seem to be able to be in any of those. So it's in yellow. So, if any of those 3 are 9, I can't make that a 9. So the only way that I could have a 9, and seemingly, at first blush at least, have this as a 9, would be to put a 9 here. But I can't do that because this would be a 9 in the bottom row, and that prevents this from being a 9. So there is no way. There is no way that this is 9, and we worked out it's not 8 or 6. So it's either 7 or a much lower number. Now, the reason this might be cool is if there are no 3-digit numbers to add to a 1700 number, you can't get anywhere near it, can you? You could have, you could have 2, or that one I suppose. You could have 2, no, you get nowhere near. You get nowhere near. It doesn't work. Let me explain why it doesn't work. So what I'm saying is, what would happen if we make this a 7? We notice if it's not a 7, it's a maximum of 5, and that's going to be very important because that's going to make this a 3-digit number. But let's think through first. If this is 1700, can we do without a 3-digit number here? Well, we need 325 from this 2-digit number, this 2-digit number, and either this 2-digit number or that 2-digit number. 325. Now, even if I made this, say, a 9, that an 8, and that a 6, which would be the best I could do, I would get to 230, wouldn't I? I'd get to 23. That takes me to 1930. And I've got nearly 100 to make up with only units digits left. That's just nowhere near. So whatever this digit is, I don't know what it is now, but I am now convinced that I have to have a 3-digit number here in order to get this box to add up to 2025. Now, well, now that is a single digit. Okay, I've now got 4 single digits in this cage. That one, I'm going to use the same nomenclature I've got up here. That one, that one, that one, and that one are all units digits, definitely. I've got 2 tens digits, which were my pink digits. I've got 2 hundreds digits, which are my blue digits, and I've got a special digit, which is a 1000 digit. Let's do it the same there, just as it makes me feel happy. That's a hundreds digit. I should have done this everywhere, shouldn't I? It would be really rather beautiful to do that. Those are blue. Tens digits are pink. And greens are my units. So that's a tens digit. Right. Oh, I could also, of course, do it here and here. Yeah, I should do that. And here, and here, and here, and here. I don't know if this is taking me forward, but anyway, it probably isn't. It's probably just making everything a bit colour-blindy, but forgive me. Right, I want to think this through now, because now... Well, what is that? That's an interesting question. So, I mean, my feeling is, well, could these add up? No, they can't. These two can't add up to 10, because that gets us to 2000, which would. But then we've got, these are not zeros, are they? And they're not ones. So this is a 2 and a 3, say. And that gives us 50, and we're only wanting 25 more than that. So these don't add up to 10. If they add up to 9, then we would be on 1900, and that feels much more reasonable, because I feel at least that it would be fairly easy to get me up to just get me up to one more 100 using 2 tens numbers. So 9 might be possible. If it was 9, this would either be 6 or 2. And we know it can't be 6, because then we can't put 6 in box 2. So it would be 2 with 7. I can't see why that's wrong. What about if this is 8, though? Then we're on 1800, and we need 225 from 2 two-digit numbers and 4 single-digit numbers. And even if that's not going to work, that's nowhere near again. Even if I make that 9 and 8, that only gives me 170. I need 225. So I need these 4 numbers to add up to 55, which is impossible. So this does add up to 9. This is 2. This is 7. I'm going to think about this more, actually, in a moment. Let me just see if this does anything really cool immediately. That's not 2. Please. That's not 7. Oh. Bobbins face. Can we... I wonder if I can do this with the secret, because I've got 10 of my 45 used up. So the rest of this box, the other 6 digits add up to 35. And I've got 4 units digits, which must add up to a number that ends in 5. So 15 or 25 is the option there. It can't be 15. It can't be 15. Beautiful. These would be too big. If they only add up to 15, 15 and 10 is 25. These have to add up to 20, and there's only 2 of them. So these have to add up to 25 plus... Oh, this is gorgeous. So this is a 4-6 pair. Yeah. So these add up to 10 in order to get the whole overall box. Once these add up to 25 and they add up to 10, that's 35. These add up to 10. without being 1928 or 37. They are 4 and 6. Oh, this is so clever, Gliperal. It is so clever. No, 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 don't. It still doesn't actually tell me anything, which is totally disturbing. Right, so these digits are 3, 5, 8, 9 by a process known as Sudoku. That is not 9. No. No. This is bonkers. How can it not do anything? I've got this box totally, or this cage totally figured out. No. Oh, I don't understand. I'm so sorry. This okay. That is absolutely extraordinary, but it doesn't seem to do anything for me. I'm trying to look at this. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. Now I've got nothing, have I? Oh, you silly man. What on earth am I meant to do then? 1 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. That's been available for ages, I just hadn't seen it. Not that it's a particularly dramatic advance in the world of solving Welcome to 2025, but it is true. Those 2 digits are the same. These 2 digits here, they're the same. Might as well make those C for what's that, whatever that's worth. So is that one D then, maybe? Or can we extrapolate C somehow? No, one of those is C. So C, if that was 6, that would be 6. No, I don't know. I don't quite see it, do I? I've got a horrible feeling that we're going to have to think harder about the terrifying prospect. That's okay. Maybe I've got to do more Sudoku. That can't be 5. Whoops. Can't be 5 because it's the same as this digit. So okay, so these 3 are the same. But I don't know whether that's the same as the C. Oh, or do I? No, I do. Okay, so maybe this is a better strategy then. To try and colour my sort of 6s and 8s and 3s and 5s and 7s against each other or something. I've actually got, look, a 3-7 pair in this box. So 5, okay, that's a small point, but I'll take it. 5 in this box is in one of those squares, so that's not 5 in this corner. That's 3 or 7, which is the same as this one. And that's not the A digit, is it? So that's some 3 or 7 type digit, which is in those squares. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh, wait, well, I've done it. I've done it. Because that is my, remember, this digit went there. So when I put this in, yeah, that was my A digit. Oh, good. So that's A. Oh, well, it takes 3 out of the corner, I'm afraid, but never mind. Oh, no, it puts it back in again. It's just in a different corner. That being 7 makes this 7 and this 7, but that, rather beautifully, that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, fantastic. So now this isn't 7. I think, well, what does that mean? Does it do... Well, that becomes a 3 now. So this becomes 1 and 7. What we really want, actually, is to work out which world we're in terms of the whole panoply of digits up here. I don't know if we can do that yet. I'm not sure. We probably can somehow. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. But we can we go further with our... We know one of these is A, don't we? A is 7. So 7... 7. I don't know. I don't know. You naughty puzzle. What's going on? Oh dear, oh dear. No, okay, I know there's a 9 in there already. I think I've probably just misremembered how these have to break down. That might be wrong though, actually. If that's 2, that's 8. That would be 4. That would be 6. That's 6. I don't know whether that's fine or not. It is very tricky. Okay, so I'm going to have to think again, aren't I? What could we do next? 2, 4. Maybe it is to do with these digits. I'm going to just give those a label quickly. So they're EE. That must be that digit. So that's E. So I should probably have made those D actually, because they're the sort of counterpart to C. They are different, aren't they? So this is now C, which I don't think I knew before. Is that important? So C is in one of those squares. C is in one of these squares. C is 6 or 8, but do we know what that is? Yeah, that's D. No, hang on. Yeah, that's D. So C is in one of these squares. Oh, it's nearly good, but I don't know where C is over here. D is that digit. So D is in one of those squares. Oh no, I don't know. Okay. Let's try and do. I really, 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 really hope I'm not going to have to work out how this cage breaks down, or that cage in terms of, you know, how many tens numbers it's got in it and that sort of thing. That would feel like a total crisis at this point. Whoa, weather's going crazy again. Anyway, come on, concentrate. How long have I had now? If I get this done in 2 hours, it would be an absolute triumph, let me tell you. I've got to do it in 11 minutes from now. Well, given I have exactly no digits in the polar bear, I have... it's funny though, I don't feel I'm a million miles away from solving this. That's probably... Oh! I've just spotted something. Where's 2? Where's 2 in this row? Oh, in fact, yeah, what I should have done is use my own advice. 2, that's a 2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. Yes, here we are. Because this is in a hundreds digit, which we know must go with 8. So C became 8. So C is 8. C is 8, D is 6, D is 6, D is 6. Okay, this is absolutely fantastic, because now D is 6, we said. D is 6. Come on, please. 4, that becomes 5 by Sudoku. That's a 2, that's a 4. B is a 4 now. So this is not 4. Oh, bother. Nearly, but not quite. These squares are now known. They are 2, 5, 8 in some order. Apparently we don't know anything about the order there, which is totally and utterly ridiculous. This square here is 3. This is a 3, 5 pair. So this is a 4 or a 6. And therefore those two digits are the same, okay, and they go up there by transposition, so that's not going to be a way, is it? Oh, there's a 3 or a 5 here, but do you remember that these digits added up to 25? I'm just checking they still do. They do. Well, the 8 and the 9 must be in those squares, mustn't they? So that is not an 8. That's 2 or 5. 2, 5, 8. Oh. Well, okay. Remember those two digits had to go at the end of this row. So these digits at the end of this row are from 2, 5, 8. That can't be 2, look. Oh, it's near. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. That's not 7 by Sudoku. This is a 3, 9 pair. This is a 5, 8 pair. Let's get rid of C down there. Let's get rid of A. I think that's all OTOs in this new world that we're living in now. 2, 5, 8. 5 has appeared in this box now. Oh, so I know what these digits are. Oh, that's... Oh, well, okay. Yes, I do. But that's not helpful. 3, 4, 6, 7. Oh, where's 6? Yeah, where's 6 in this row? It's there, by Sudoku. Don't you love it when Sudoku comes to your rescue? So these squares are 3, 4, and 7. And that's definitely not 7. Okay. I've got a horrible feeling about this. I've got a horrible feeling we're going to have to sort of work out all the ways that this cage could work itself out and then try and solve it. And that's a terrifying thought. I don't want to do it. 3, 4, 6, 9. Where... No, it's not a good question. I thought that was a good question from where's that digit in row 4? Because it can't go here and it can't repeat there. So it is either there if it's a 5, or if it's a 3, it's there. It's it either goes that way or that way. If it's a 5... Oh no, why couldn't it be a 5 and go that way? No, it could be. It could be. So what I just said is absolute lunacy and merits derision, frankly. Wow. Okay. So what about... Oh, I nearly had a good thought then. I was going to ask where 1 went in the polar bear. 1 is a bit restricted. I think we looked at that earlier. If that's a 1, the 1 has to go there. That has to be a 1. And I've got this 4, 6 pair here. So in this row, 3, 5, 8, 9 is what we're looking at. Oh, 8 is in one of those squares. That's marginally interesting. Yeah, 8 in this box is a little interesting as well. It's in one of 2 positions. Yeah, so maybe it's Sudoku. That's entirely possible, isn't it? Okay. But let me think about this. I really don't want to look at that cage. It's a terrifying prospect. Is it going to be... We've had 10 of digits. We've got a 6. That must be in a units position, mustn't it? That must be true. So, well, we definitely know this isn't a 3-digit number because we can't add a 3-digit number to 1900. So, okay, so what's the minimum number of units digits that we could have in this cage? Maybe that's a way to do it. We've got that one and that one for definite. If that was a 2-digit number and one of these was a 2-digit number, we'd have 2 over here, 3. So the minimum is 4. That's the absolute minimum. And those 4 units digits have to add up to a number that ends in 5. And that isn't 5 because there are 4 different digits. So it's either 15. In fact, if it is 4, if there are 4 units digits, it has, and it's 15. Given that 1 isn't involved as a units digit, doesn't that have to be 2, 3, 4, 6? That's impossible. That might be wrong, that logic, but I think it's impossible if the logic is well, opposite to logic is sound. Hang on, let me just think about this. So what I'm saying is, given I know 6 is a units digit, so let's label that green. I know this is a units digit. So if I minimize the numbers of units digits, I make this a 2-digit number. I've got a 4-digit number here, so I've got these 2 digits summed, and I can't make this a 3-digit number, so I'm going to have 2 units digits over here. And I'm trying to add up to 15. I can't add 5 different units digits to 15 because I can't use 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the only way of making 5 digits add up to 15. So I think what I might be able to conclude is that the units digits in this box, and I don't now know how many there are, there could still be only 4 of them, but I do know that however many there are, they do not add to 15. They can't. Because the 2 that I would need from over here, well, if I only had 1 from over here, because I could only have 1, because if I have 6 and 5, I need 1 and 3 as the other 2. So I'd have to have 1 from here, and that would make that a 3-digit number. So what I'm now going to claim is that 25, it must be 25, it can't be 35 because there would be no more, there would be no tens digits, and we know there's at least one tens digit. So it must be 4 or 5 digits or 6 digits, however many digits that add up to 25, plus these 2 digits is 35. So the tens digits in this box add up to 10. And one of them is that digit. So we're either looking at 3 tens digits, which have to be 3, 2, and 5. And that's impossible because I can't make those into 2 tens digits. I can make 1 tens digit, but not 2 over from those 3 squares. Or we're looking at 2 tens digits, which are 3 and 7. And that's all it can be. So we're looking at 2 tens digits that are 3 and 7 because this is definitely a tens digit. And the only other place I can get a useful digit, i.e. a 3 or a 7, is if that is a tens digit. So that is a tens digit, and that is a 3. So that's a 3, that's a 7, that's a 4, that's a 6, that's a 4, that's a 6. So what's the mathematics of this now? So now, oh, 15. Yeah, no, that does work. It does work. 1974 plus 36 is 2010, plus 15 is 2025. So the maths works. So this is not 3. Oh, we might have known that before. I just didn't realise it. That's not 4. So that's 4 in that column. Oh, I see. So this is, okay, this is now 4 and 9 in some order. Let's get rid of the 9, get rid of the B. 2, 9 here. I should be able to do this column. Yeah, the 7 is helping me. So that's a 7, that's a 5, that's a 3, that's a 5, that's, oh, hang on, careful, that's a 5, Simon. Oh, I'm getting nervous now. This is now something. Please be correct. Now, what? Okay, so what do I do next? The OSC, if that's a 5, it's taking 5 out of these squares. So this becomes 3, 8, 9. So in this row, I need to put 1s, 2s, and 5s in. So that's 1 or 2. That's 1, 2, or 5. Bother. There is definitely a 3 in one of those squares. It's still being recalcitrant, is it? How can you be so naughty? Do I somehow? I don't think I do know the orders here. We just knew the dispositions of the digits according to the units, tens, and hundreds. I think that's right. Anyway. Oh, where's 7? That's a good question. 7 in that box is placed. Ooh, okay. Where's 4 in this box? Don't know, but it's in one of those squares according to my pencil marks. 4 in this box is definitely not in this column. Yeah, so a sensible question, an easy question is where's 4 in column 8? And the answer is there. So I get a 4 there, I get a 9 in the corner, I get a 9 in one of those, don't know which one, that's not 9 anymore. So 9 is there by Sudoku in box 6. So this is 8, this is 3, oh come on. So there's a 3 over here, there's a 3 over there, it's still not resolved, but never mind. Yeah, oh no, that's not good, it doesn't work. Okay, what do I need in this column? I need 5, 6, 9 into these squares. That's not 6. These are not 5. Okay, that's 5, so that's helpful, probably. 5, 6, 9. Ooh, yeah, okay. I've got 5, 6, 9 here. This polar bear has to have 1, 2, and 4 in it. Where do they go? Those squares is the answer. That's the only because of the 1, 2, 4 triple in column 8. That's not 4 because there's a 4 in one of these. So if these are 1, 2, 4, 3 and 8 is it into these squares? 3 and 8 into those squares. That does get me a 5 here, which is something. If this is 3, 8, that's 6, 9. So that's 2. That's 9. 1, 2, 4, 8. This is 1 or 2. Oh, this is a 1, 2 pair. Okay. So these are a 3, 7 pair. How could it still be resisting? 1, 2, 4. So this is an 8. So that's 8, 2, 5. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 5, 6. So this is a 1 or... Oh, that's good. Where's 2 in this box then? I'm going to do that slowly. I'm not sure I trust that deduction. 1, 2, 5, 6. Yeah, that is a 5, 6 pair. So that is a 1, 2 pair. This is a 5, 6 pair. That 2 tells us the order. So 2 goes here, 1 goes there. 2 comes out of these squares. 2 goes here, 1 goes here, 2 goes here. Yeah, 1 goes here, 7 goes here, 7, 3, 3, 8, 8, 5, 5, 6, 6, 9. Good grief, it's intricate. 1, 4, 8 here, 8 here, 9 here, 9, 3, 3, 4. Wow. Wow. Let's just make sure that we identify everything that we. So these are all singles. Those green thingies are singles. The polar bear has no total. I think that's right. I'm not totally certain, but it felt. I mean, the fact we finished it is quite remarkable. 2 hours, 6 minutes. Please be correct. Oh, boom, boom. That is unbelievably clever, Gliperal. I feel like I've been in a war. That was a mental war. And when you're competing in a mental war with somebody who's got much more artillery than you have, it is a daunting thing, let me tell you. That is, it's genius. I mean, so basically, let's just think about what Gliperal. So the basic, I think the basic, not the basic, but the underlying idea that Gliperal has had or noticed somehow is that the number 2025 is quite restricted if you have to build it from 3 three-digit numbers made up of unique Sudoku digits. Is that where this is sort of started? And then from there it's just got more and more bonkers because the addition of the 4th possible digit makes everything tricky. But it is so cool that you can that resolves. I'm in awe. I am in awe of you for creating that, Gliperal. And yeah, welcome back to the channel. I'm so thrilled to get through that, actually, because it's a puzzle that deserves immense attention. And if I just died, and I could have just died on that very easily, well, absent Mark having a go at it, but Mark doesn't tend to do these monster ones. So that's just really thrilled. I look forward to the comments, although I know this is going to be a terribly long video, and for that I apologise. It was quite a long video yesterday, so forgive me for that, but I hope you'll agree, if you're still with me now, or if you made it through the puzzle yourself, that it's such a high quality puzzle. It deserves all the eyes we can get on it, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.